recording.
I have a capability to share my screen, but I believe that you will start with your slides first, and then we'll join.
That's exactly right. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I welcome everyone to the BTP APJ Practitioners Forum. Apologies, we had some technical issues. So just to introduce myself, I'm Rajesh Raghupati, based in SAP Australia, Melbourne. We'll be hosting today's session. So today's session is pretty much Adi and Shugas from Synctegral. So the topic is going to be streaming the real-time data from IoT drone to the SAP S/4HANA using Business Application Studio Python code. So we'll go into more details about that. So Adi, at the interest of time, maybe I'll just hand over the session to you, so we can just kind of introduce yourself and get this started. You should have the sharing rights now. Thanks.
Thank you. Let me please share my screen.
I have stopped sharing mine. Yeah.
Okay, you could see the bridge.
Yes,
and
we can see the
Sydney
Opera House. Yeah,
okay.
can see the
my screen.
Yes, all good.
Okay, awesome. So since we have very short period of time, I will probably skip.
Adi, you went on mute.
Adi, somehow you got muted. You can unmute yourself. Adi, can you unmute?
Yep. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Could you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, all good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So we passed all the technical issues, and I will tell you about our experience in the SAP Take a Demo Jam when we had some of the issues as well. So it's very friendly meeting, and thanks everyone for having us here. I believe Sukas may join us a little bit later to this meeting, but if not, I will try to run the whole meeting by myself, and we recorded some of our great moments from the SAP Take a Demo Jam to share with you, because we could not bring all the audience to this meeting, but you will see the audience probably in the recording. Myself, I'm the founder and managing director of the Synctegral. We'll speak about the radiation measurement, real-time streaming from a drone, has been mentioned. We'll create an incident in S/4HANA immediately, and we will run the visualization of SAC. It sounds very simple scenario, but we have to invest a lot of time and our experience in multi-dimensional and multidisciplinary knowledge to achieve this. So about ourselves. So we are Synctegral, a company that exists in Australia since 2017. We are SAP build partner since 2018. Our secret sauce is in the name of the company. Synctegral name was made of the synchronize and integrate word, and that's what we are trying to provide to our customers. We provide enterprise solutions. We expertise in extending standard solution and standard SAP applications using SAP Web IDE previously, and now we're using SAP Business Application Studio. As the part of SAP BTP, of course, we are using SAP Connector and a number of additional services provided by BTP. We truly believe in the clean core, keeping our system clean from external development, and the BTP provides us an opportunity that on top of those solutions, SAP partners like us, like Synctegral, would be focused on providing specific solutions to our customers. So our mission is the fast and agile deployment. That's exactly what SAP BTP provides us. At the moment, we connect our system to both SAP S/4HANA 2022-2023 version on-premise, as well as recently we started to provide our connectivity to SAP Public Cloud versions 28.03 and 24.02. That's why our solutions is pretty cost effective. We don't have too much overhead in our company. Our services spread across multiple domains, from the solution architecture, technical project management, as well as hands-on configuration and development of the system. Without this knowledge in multi-domain, we could not provide the cost-effective solution to the customer. We can't afford too many experts from various fields to work on our short projects. And the way that our people are pretty experts in the field, some of us are ex-SAP labs, and some of others even work for the company that been sold to SAP. So we're pretty experts in our field. So of course we could serve various industries, and as you could see in the slide, those the industries represented in Australia. Recently we started to serve not only our customers in Australia but also remotely, so we export our services. But it's not about Synctegral. Today the whole presentation is about our achievement. First of all, we came to final 6, as you could see, to the global SAP Tech a Demo Jam, and we become the finalist representing Australia. So by itself, coming on the stage just after the keynote provided by SAP CTO Jürgen Morgan was the achievement by itself. Even if you're not going to win the bronze that we did in the end, even staying on this stage, I believe that every team deserves applause who came to this stage, because I believe it was selected from about 60 teams all around the globe. So TechIt itself, as you could imagine, is a very nice event. So I will not speak too much because we lost 9 minutes in some of the technical issues, but being in the TechIt, it's important by itself. You understand what is going on. You meet face-to-face some of the most important people, and you're making the connection. And this connection is the asset by itself. Whenever you are on the project or you have some of the technical issue, the connections and human interaction face-to-face will never be replaced by our remote calls. So we proudly represented Australia. We put Australia on the map, and I put a small Australian ball representing this achievement. So Craig Cahill, who ran the demo jam, said, okay, don't bring the ball to the stage, because if he will not win, if he will lose, or if something will go wrong, so you will probably make a shame to the Australia. So thanks, Craig. I didn't bring the ball to the stage, but of course I made a lot of photos, made a lot of friends, and met a lot of friends that sometimes I met remotely, but met them face to face in this specific event. I recommend very much to participate in person and run number of the specific SAP BTP sessions with the specialist, and those connections will help you in your day-by-day life, working on your projects, on your software development, and so on and so on. So now, what was our motivation at all to go to this event? So initially, we had even no idea what are we going to do on this specific event, but something happened in Australia. One of the mining companies lost a tiny capsule. So I will just jump to this story. And about 60 people started to run a search around 1,000 kilometers of the road. Where is this tiny capsule could be found? So this is the small tiny capsule, and this is just a few millimeters of the capsule. So at the end of the day, the capsule was found, but the cost of this search included about 4 million Australian dollars. So we said that this is too much. With the newest technology, we could maybe use some of the detectors that we could put on the drone. And this is the detector that found the capsule at the end of the day and from the car. But the drone solution will be probably much more cost effective and much more interesting, because the drone could prevent exposure of people to the radiation. So it was probably this time the very small capsule with the very small radiation exposure. But if something more serious could happen, then probably the radiation exposure to the human will be extremely dangerous. And the whole idea of the ticket and the line of the ticket was the sustainability. So we said, if you'll make our walls safer by not exposing people to the radiation, but replace human interaction with the drone, we could make our world greener. So we set the stage, and thanks to the organizers of this event, they prevented from us, of course, to bring the drone and fly the drone inside the event itself. And of course, they prevented from us to bring the radiation source. So they have to improvise, and instead of flying the real drone on the stage, we used a company called Akis, and they have a drone in Zurich. Apparently in Zurich, you could fly the drone, and this drone will fly during our presentation, and will find the radiation exposure and will send the data in the real time to S4HANA. So this was our walk around. So got the motivation and the story, and this is our solution itself in a very high level. So the drone will fly, and will stream the radiation detection measurements in the real time. It's like Netflix. It's not discrete messages. And also, the drone will send the geolocation in the real time where this specific radiation stream will be found. And all of this information will be mapped in this 3D map. And we would like to create an incident on the S4HANA only when something really happened. We would not like to stream all the unnecessary data from the drone, because we will kill the system, as you could imagine. So we decided that we will create only the incident using SAP standard application, Fiori application called create incident or manage incident, and we'll represent the map of created incident immediately on S4HANA. So two options were in our possibilities. One is use S3 dashboard on S4HANA. The second possibility was create directly exposure to SAP Analytics Cloud and utilize this capability. Where was the catch? We didn't want to replicate any of the data. Since the data streaming in the real time, we wanted to expose the data from S4HANA directly to SAC without replication. And this was one of the catches. So the drone started to stream the information, as you could see, and you could see here the path and the measurements of the radiation. And we have also the threshold over here. Once the threshold achieved, we will send also the geolocation of the measurement itself. So this is the piece of the code that we created using SAP Business Application Studio. We are going to publish this information on SAP Store. That's why I'm not sharing with you the code, but probably with the help from SAP, we'll create a mission that will allow you to replicate our solution using some of the simulator from the drone. In this way, you will learn how you could use SAP Business Application Studio to stream the data to S4HANA and to any of the applications that you will choose using SAP released API, or maybe you will even create your own APIs. So this is more or less the stage, and here are the Fiori apps that we used. And as I mentioned, we're trying to keep SAP core clean. So we used the standard apps called create incident and manage incident, and we stream the data using Open SAP API. By doing this, we not changed anything on the backend. And in this way, we just utilized SAP released APIs. In this way, you could use any of SAP versions, either public cloud or private cloud, because we're not dependent on the backend. And this is, I think, one of the advantages using this approach. Just for the 6 minutes of TechEd, and this is the rule of TechEd, that we could not run our presentation more than 6 minutes. We created very simplistic applications. We use the Great Incident API, and we send our data about the exposure of the gamma and neutron radiation directly to the title. Of course, if we had more time than 6 minutes, we could extend this Fiori app to a better version, but this was not the case. You could do everything like just in 6 minutes. Once we send information about the radiation from the drone, we could showcase you all the incidents that created, and this all created in the real time. So there is no data replication from the drone itself. It's creating in the real time. So the proof of this was the use of the who is reporting person, right? That the reporting person of this incident, instead of the human, was the drone itself flying somewhere in Switzerland during our presentation. Of course, we try to utilize additional SAP S/4HANA capabilities, the push notification and the SAP Fiori inbox. This way, we could notify and follow up incident created by the drone. The respective subject matter experts could follow up what happened. So they will not need physically to be in the place. They could send another robot, maybe, or make some other actions required. So the follow-up was not in our scope. And this is how it was presented on SAC. The most important part was that we not replicated any data for SAC. SAC data was directly consumed from S/4HANA. This was also one of the interesting parts. So instead of probably just only talking about it, I will share with you how it looked in the reality. And please tell me if you could hear the computer sound. So I try to share my screen with the sound. This is the presentation in live, recorded in the demo gym.
Okay, so Team 6 is now ready to go. They have a very interesting demo where they're using the power of HANA to measure something unusual, radiation and satellites. It's got everything. Are you really ready?
Yes.
I know it's a complicated one. No, it's actually not complicated. They were able to do all of this with SAP. All right, you've got 6 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now.
Hello, everyone. Namaskara. Greetings from Synctegral, Australia. We will present you a presentation that motivated by one of Australian mining company losing a tiny radioactive capsule. This incident costs the search alongside long Australian roads. 60 people been invited in the search. It cost about 4 million Australian dollars. Our solution probably will cost a fraction of it. We will not expose people to any radioactive materials. We will be extremely sustainable. We will use a drone, but where is Craig? Craig told us we could not bring the drone onshore to Bangalore. We also could not bring for sure radioactive source. So we built with a drone company called Arkis in Switzerland a simulator. So you see on the screen A drone simulator, real time, now flying in Zurich. Could you imagine? It's going to Zurich and back. You see, GPS signal is going in real time and sending us the information on the left. On the right, you see measurement of the radiation in the real time. It's like a Netflix. It's streaming, no discrete messages. Now don't worry. We will switch the alarm, not real one. This is just somewhere in Zurich. Our drone with the radiation measurement found some radiation source. Immediately send an information to our S/4HANA. To do it, we wrote a small piece of code using Business Application Studio, BTP.
So as you can see, as Adi mentioned, we wrote a small piece of code which captures the radiation information from the drone. So it is listening for the alarm to go off, and once the alarm is sounded, it captures the streaming data from the web sockets, and once the data is there, it processes the data, and then it packages into format which can be consumed by an API. So we push this information to SAP S/4HANA via using standard APIs. This creates an incident without having to do any coding on S/4HANA. So we have used all standard business APIs to do this. Now let's have a look at SAP S/4HANA.
You see, it's a standard SAP Fiori launchpad. Now our drone sending everything in the real time, but we could not refresh the screen. The bottleneck is the refreshment of the screen. So we need to find a solution. We found that push notification will bypass this refreshment of the screen. So you see all the incidents created via push notification. Respective stakeholders will receive information on their mobile phones, and they will proceed with the incident treatment. Everything remotely, no one exposed to the radiation. You see, everything standard. We are keeping the core clean. Everything what we are doing, utilizing the capabilities of SAP.
Yep.
Now, we are streaming, just for the sake of this application, some of the data. We need the measurements. We need geolocation. We need the timestamp. The server is with the UTS time zone, but you could see it's just going and happening right now as we speak. Now, of course, it's very important not just to show the transactional data. We also need to expose it to SAP SAC. So we think we should be sustainable. We don't need to replicate the data. We will just expose real-time data from S/4HANA. To do it, everyone here used AI. I never wrote a single line of code. AI wrote for me the code that you see just in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the ABAP on Eclipse. So we used just two simple CDS views. The first one is a cube. The next one is an analytics query. The first one exposes the standard DDIC table. And we have taken latitude, longitude, the timestamp, and the radiation measurements. The same is exposed as a query on the other CDS view. And this, we can access the information on SAC real time.
And the result, this is SAC. You see data in the real time exposed, not replicated from S4. We see graphical representation of our measurements. Now we could cut it, filter it, whatever we want. Sustainability.
Yeah. They pushed it. But it's an important topic, so we let them slide just a little bit. Good job, good job.
So this was our presentation. So I prepared also some of the backup to those who not been on SAP Take a Demo Jam, and this specific recording will be also added to the slides that we will share after this meeting. But now let's go a little bit to the details of what we presented, and the details are important because the devil is always in the details, right? So to achieve this, oops, sorry, could you see my slides? Just give me a yes or no.
I'm still seeing the, yeah, I can see,
Oh.
I'm seeing a browser. Yeah.
Just 1 second.
Yeah,
Let me.
Yes,
Okay.
I think the slides are back.
So I'm trying to reshare the slides for some reason. It's always wanting only. Okay. That was the slides. Let me just try. So what we tried showcase here. 1 second.
Welcome.
Oh, this is just the recording of the same. So we're not going to the recording of this one more time, but it's important that you have the same what we showed cased on the screen also recorded as the YouTube, and you could find it on our Synctegral website. So thank you for having us. As the result, you could see, thanks to the audience that out of 7,000 people, probably about 5,337 voted for our solution, and we got the third place. I think we should just try harder for the next demo jam. But our specific solution been mentioned by top SAP executives. So of course, we presented this to the board of directors and specifically to SAP CTO, and we got recognized. And the most important point of the solution is that we used the drone and radiation measurement streaming as just an example. We could stream any type of the data to SAP using any IoT device, using few lines of SAP Python code that we could easily create the project using SAP BTP. And here I would like to make a few credit statements that without SAP Labs team in Ranana, who helped us a lot to create the possibility to run Python independently on any platform on SAP BTP. Of course, that's a huge credit goes to them that helped us to make this presentation in very quick manner. Almost within the 6 minutes of the presentation, we had to create this code on the fly. So once I'm speaking, Suhas is creating and changing the code, and it's all deployed on the SAP BTP. So the integration part was not less important than the code itself. And I think the idea of use multiple SAP technologies around BTP and use specifically SAP Cloud Connector, because we connected this to S/4HANA server that runs in our data center in Sydney, and presented in the real time to the audience in Bangalore while the drone is flying in Switzerland. That's really showing the power of BTP and easiness of the solution. So I recommend it very much to you to use BTP and learn how to do it. So back to the solution itself. For the future, we think that the right way to increase the capabilities of our solution and provide additional calculations will be use SAP DataSphere. And the reason for this is that we stream to S/4HANA only the incidents. When we recorded some of the radiation, which is above the threshold, but some of the information that the drone sent, just the general measurements of radiation, we could not store on S/4HANA because it's by definition not the data mart. So we suggest for the future solution, if you're streaming any data that will not be used directly to create some of the transactions, we could keep our transactional system, which is S/4HANA, aside, and we could use SAP DataSphere as the specific data mart solution. So the prevention from using SAP DataSphere at the moment of our presentation was the lack of the capability to SAP DataSphere to create the data in the real time on the SAP DataSphere. I think now this resolved. There is some of the connector that provided by third party that you could record the data streaming to SAP DataSphere. I think it's Kafka, Apache Kafka-based connector. So if it is not possible, and that's what we are working now by ourselves, we're developing the capability that we will expose the data directly from SAP S/4HANA. So we will send all the information to SAP S/4HANA, but we will not put everything in the database. We will keep something in the runtime memory on the S/4HANA side using Python capabilities, and the Python client runs on the same server as SAP S/4HANA, and we will stream it directly to SAP DataSphere from this layer. So this is one of the solutions. And of course, once you're going to hackathons of SAP, it's recommended that you will use the new themes that need to be followed using SAP BTP. So you need to use the same language that everyone in the community will use. And here we created the diagram using this language. So if you're looking into our solution, the key point was they create the connectivity service using SAP Cloud Connector, because in our case, our Synctegral data center had SAP S/4HANA backend. So we connected this to our on-premise solution using Cloud Connector. So of course, since we use the standard APIs released by SAP, now our solution independent from either on-premise or on cloud solution. It's also, you could use either cloud version or public or private cloud versions of the software as well. So you could extend the application that we did, the very basic application using SAP Business Application Studio. We extended only a few fields, but you could definitely create a better application if you have more time. And the SAP DataSphere will be used as the data mart. So probably the better solution will be stream all the data from the drone to SAP DataSphere and use some of the listeners and triggers to expose only the incidents to S/4HANA. And the presentation layer should be used as the SAP Analytics Cloud. That's more or less all. I rushed a little bit because we had some of the issues. But if you have more time, so this is probably the time for questions. That's all about us. And if you have more questions to ask, you could always contact us. But so let's open the microphone to question. And I have not seen if there are any questions raised by
I did not see any questions on the chat. Yeah, but again, participants, if you have any questions, you can also unmute pretty much, right, and send your questions. But it was very impressive, Adi, what you showcased. Yeah, I think it's you got the bronze, yeah, bronze medal, third prize, isn't it? In Decade looks of it. It's a good one, great one.
Sorry, so say again.
No, I just said, I mean, it was a great presentation, and I think
Oh,
pretty much,
thank you.
yeah, I think well recognized, right? And got a third prize, SAP TechEd. So it's such a great use case, especially right with all the mining and all the, I mean, stuff going on around sustainability, and it's a great use case
So
what you showcased today.
I recommend everyone to try at least to participate in any of SAP hackathons or demo jams. It's a great experience. We came to this very spontaneously. So we had actually no real product when we applied to participation. We had only idea. So we heard about the Anstor and the capsule and the investment they made to find the capsule, and this influenced us a lot. Right, we were trying to make Australia a safe place, and I had no idea that the mining companies use some of the radiation capsules before. So we learned everything on the fly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But the sustainability is important, right? But we try to look into the sustainability from a different angle. So we could use our technology right now, not only for measurement of the radiation. In Australia, we have a bushfires. It's a huge issue, right? So we could use our technology to stream geolocation and the video streaming to SAP solutions like S4HANA or SAP DataSphere or any other SAP solution. We could stream the photo, we could stream the video, we could probably use AI to compare some of the, let's say, normal picture and the picture with the fire and create an alarm in an automatic way using AI. And I mentioned, I think, during the presentation itself, so we just had no time to learn so many technologies. So I wrote a code using SAP AI, like ChatGPT, as simple as that, using Eclipse and ABAP without knowing too much syntaxes of ABAP myself. So, and to create it on the fly was one of the achievements using AI. And if you're going to SAP BTP, you have embedded AI that helps you to write the code of the Python and so on the fly. And once we will publish the mission, everyone in the community will be able to try to do the same. So the only obstacle right now is the arrangement, how we post our mission and how we represent it in the SAP store. So once we will have this legal discussion over, we will release everything to the community because it's kind of IP involved, and we need to protect some of the IP from Synctegral, as you could imagine. That's important part. But we're trying to at least share with the community as much as we could, because we build it for the sustainability and for improvement of the world. And of course, some of the trade secrets, like how to run Python on HANA and how to create some of the tricks with the Python that probably some of the IP will need to encapsulate. But happy to hear more questions from the community.
Sure, I think we'll pass that kind of the presentation and the kind of a recording of today's session to wider community, and I'll get in touch if you have any more questions. I don't see any questions from the participants for today, so that means we conclude the session for today. And the next session for APJ Practitioner Forum will be on the April 16th of April on a Thursday. We can kind of please get in touch if you would like to kind of have a use case or scenarios you'd like to present to the community. Welcome to kind of engage and have the session going forward. And we'll conclude there. Adi, thanks one more time for a wonderful presentation today. Thank you.
Would you like me to run? This is the recording that we did post demo jam for the people who not participated in the demo jam. Here we explain a little bit more about the code. So we have another 6 minutes on the clock. I will just run this presentation.
All right, that's okay. If you would like to run it, then after this
Because I
finishes,
would
then we
like to
can
provide
conclude. Yeah, thank you.
to Suhas one of the credits as well. He unfortunately couldn't not join this call, but I would like, of course, to thank him for participating in the demo jam and contributing to the company. So here, please, it's another 6 minutes of the fame, but here you will see more specific explanations with the code. So let me just run it before we close it.
Sure.
Welcome, Adi and Suhas. Thank you so much for joining today and sharing your demo with SAP community. As you know, SAP Demo Jam is a fun, inventive and groundbreaking component of our annual SAP TechEd event. And therefore, thank you for coming back and giving our members a chance to see your demo today, especially those who couldn't attend in person this year. If you're watching online, please also feel free to ask questions as a comment in the chat. And with that, I'll hand over to you, Adi and Suhas. Are you ready to share? I will put 6 minutes on the clock.
Yep.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Let me just share our screen. Hopefully you could see it. Okay. And that's our 6 minutes of fame starts here. My name is Adi.
I am Suhas.
And we are from a company called Synctegral from Australia. You could see the bridge from my back. The inspiration for our case for the Demo Jam was the case when one of the Australian mining companies lost a tiny capsule with the radioactive material. This search included almost 60 people and costed 4 million Australian dollars. At the end of the day, they found the capsule being on the road for thousands of the kilometers. What do you think we could cut the cost? We could use the drone. In our drone over here, in our presentation, you will see the simulation. It's flying somewhere in Switzerland. So we start in the drone over here, and this drone will send information with the radioactive measurements as well as GPS location of the drone. Once you will bypass the threshold of the scan for the radiation, you will hear alarm. I'm not sure if it will be heard during our session, but in Bangalore it happened. To do so, we created a small piece of code. Suhas, would you like to?
Yes. So as you can see, right, so the drone is basically streaming the data with radiation measurements. And as soon as you hear an alarm, there would be a message which would be sent out to the BTP service. So this is a small Python code which basically listens to the data from the drone. And once the data is read, so we convert it to message to create an incident. As you can see, the response here. So there is a gamma alarm, and once the alarm is sound, we can see that there's a message that 201 created. So basically, it's creating an incident based on the details collected from the drone. Over to you.
Since data streaming in the real time, our bottleneck become the refresh of the screen. To avoid this situation, we used the push notification, and you see over here, 2 incidents being created and push notification being created as well. So users immediately will receive in their Fiori inbox information about the incident, and this information will be showing some of the key details. For example, it will show the level of the gamma radiation and the neutron radiation, the longitude, latitude, the timestamp, and as you could see, the reported person is the drone itself. So standard SAP technologies working for us and sending information in the real time to S/4HANA system. But this is not end of the story. We also would like to share S/4HANA information in the real time to SAC. Suhas, over to you.
Yep. What we have done is we've created two small piece of code. Basically, what you see here is a CDS view. The first one, the CDS view, is a cube view, which is over the standard EHS table. So this exposes the main key fields that we are looking for, which is latitude, longitude, the timestamp, and the name of the incident. And then the next one is the consumption view. This consumption view is written on top of the cube view. This basically is exposed to our analytics cloud client. So this way you're not replicating any data and you have access to the real-time EHS data from the tables. Over to you.
The result of this will be information in the real time that you see just created for us just now and exposed the geolocation. So we could scroll, enlarge it, and you see those are the incidents that just been created right now in the real time. In this case, we could resolve multiple targets that been done for the sustainability of our planet. First of all, we could make the green nuclear energy safer. Secondly, we're not replicating any data, that we could save some of the electricity, not creating unnecessary servers. And the third part is we use artificial intelligence to write the code. So we don't need to use more office hours and work hours of multiple programmers to build this application. Anything from you, Sahas?
Yeah, this use case can be extended not only just radiation, like bushfire is one of the use cases that we could always use. We could have cameras detect fires flying the drone and we could create an incident. So this is just one of the examples that we took. The possibilities are endless.
The main point we would like to emphasize what we did is the streaming of the data, and you could see directly to S/4HANA. We do not need any middleware in between from any IoT device. In this case, is the drone to the backend system.
And 6 minutes is up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing your demo today. We'll see everyone in SAP community real soon. Don't forget to join the SAP TechEd group to stay in touch throughout the year and get news and updates, replays, and much more. Thank you, Adi and Suhas, for joining today.
Oh, that's it from my side as well. So I think that's all done for today, and that was a great opportunity to me to present this on my behalf. Synctegral solution, and thanks to us to help us to win the bronze. And we wish him luck in his future endeavors. So we don't have any more questions from your side, so let's probably wrap up the session. Gaurav, is over to you. Or Rajesh. Gaurav, Rajesh. Thanks, everyone, for participating in our session. And if you have a question, please, you're welcome to send us more questions. Thank you. Probably, Gaurav, you could stop recording, or Rajesh, or both. I'm not sure if I'm entitled to stop recording.
Thanks, Eddie. I think we'll conclude the session. So you just got away.
Oh yeah,
All good.
yeah. I didn't know that if I could stop recording.
Yeah, no,
So
I can end it. It's all recorded and we'll just upload to the community. Thanks for your time today. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. And if you could a little bit like make some editing of the sessions, it'll be great as well. I think
Yeah, we'll
like
do that. Thank you.
if you see at least the initial part, I don't think we need to share the first 9 minutes. And sorry that a little bit rushed. I was sure we don't have enough time, but we actually had more time than I expected.
No, I was able to kind of follow it anyway. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
Rajesh.
Thanks, Eddie.
Bye-bye.
Bye.